welcome to Knit One,
Part 2, episode 267.
Which is our last episode.
Our final episode.
I'm Sheila, also known as Sheila D37.
And I'm Wendy, also known as Penny Wendy. And for those of you who have been our loyal viewers for so long, we want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Thanks for watching us
thank
all these years.
Thank you for watching us, supporting us, cheering us on, joining in our activities.
Meeting us at festivals.
We've made so many wonderful friends from doing this, and that's going to be the hardest thing about ending.
I'm not seeing you guys anymore. Wow. In the virtual world. We'll still go to whatever festivals we can make, and I'm still on Instagram, just not as much, but that's how I've always been. So we're going to miss you guys.
Well, you will.
A couple announcements. We have chosen for some prizes.
Yes.
And I have contacted right now everyone who is getting a prize from our big box of prizes that we had left over. We're trying to get rid of everything that was gifted to us to give to you guys. I want to make another announcement. For all the people who have given us money in our PayPal, we really do appreciate it. Just ask you not to do it anymore.
We have to try to give
money away. Our money. So
it will help with the shipping, but
it's going to help with the shipping, especially international. If you are an international winner, please don't feel bad. I'm okay shipping internationally.
Yes.
For any money that we have left over after all physical prizes are gone, we will be randomly giving you patterns from your wish list.
Because all of the money that was donated and all of the prizes we feel belongs to
you guys.
So we want to make sure that we get rid of everything and give it back to the people who were our loyal viewers.
But please, and thank you again, but please no more.
Thank you, everyone who donated, but
I really do appreciate it. I really, really do, but I want to be able to give it away without worrying about anything sitting in there.
Yeah, we need to
wrap that up.
Thank you.
We really do appreciate it. And like I said, I've contacted everybody. So if you're seeing this and haven't checked Ravelry recently, please check Ravelry because I've contacted everyone asking for mail.
Yeah, so we can mail you your
mailing address so that we can mail prizes. And again, after I'm done with that, I will be giving patterns.
Yeah, so it's worth checking your box. You might be a lucky winner. We will announce the winners of the Double or Nothing eBook and the School Color contest in the Gossip and Innuendo section at the end. So we are still picking for that. The School Colors people are going to each get to pick the pattern of their choice, $10 or less.
Right.
And the School Color, the Double or Nothing winner, of course, will get the Double or Nothing ebook that we were given to review. So,
also, Blue Moon Knit Along people, I have also gotten in touch with the people who won that, just because we weren't sure when we were going to be recording, and I didn't want anyone waiting. So, check your boxes. I actually have already gotten one response from Blue Moon.
Oh, good.
And I can't remember who the name is. I'm sorry, I didn't bring my paperwork.
My husband just came in.
I thought I did. I didn't. I'm all organized at work, not home. So
I guess I'm organized at home because I don't have a work.
But yeah, so check your inboxes at Ravelry.
Yes, just in case you are a winner.
Oh, also another note, just to note, because I do want to get rid of all these prizes, if I do not hear from you after a month, then your prize is forfeited and I will pick another prize.
We're going to somebody else.
I'm sorry, that kind of sounds cruel and mean, but I just want to give these prizes away to you guys.
Right, we have to, and we need to have some closure on our end.
I do need to have some closure.
Yeah.
Sorry, I saw here. My hair. So anyways, on to the meat of the show. We still are showing off what we have been working on.
Oh, I think it's you this week.
It's me this week. Okay, I have a couple things on the needles. I have my first sock of Blue Moon on the needles, believe it or not. I think I might have started this last year. It's Blue Moon Mill End, but it looks like, what's the one with the borders?
Doctors Without Borders?
Yes. That's what it looks like to me. Doctors Without Borders colorway. It is a medium weight, so I'm doing it on size US 3, 3.25 millimeters, which we started doing in the beginning and we just kind of...
Yeah.
US 3, it's the square needles that I like so much. It's just that works better. It's just a toe right now. This is actually my second sock. I had a comment with my coworker. It's a little rough on the hands, and again, it's just because I think of what else I'm knitting.
Yeah.
So it's a generic toe-up sock with the fish lips, because heel, nothing fancy. It's my go-to sock. And then what else I have on my needles is a friend of ours, Tara. We used to meet up with her a while. I see her on occasion. She asked me if I'd finish a blanket for her. Like an idiot that I was. Nothing against you, Tara. I said yes.
Little did you know that all she had done was the edge.
All she had done was this little pink stripe. It's pink and white. And it's DK weight on US 7. So all she did was this pink. And I looked at it and I'm like, oh my God. It's a really easy blanket to do. The problem is there's purling involved.
Yeah.
And everyone knows, if you've been watching the show for a while, me and purling don't get along.
Yeah, it's hard on her hands.
It is hard on my hands, and I am paying the price. My hands have been burning. So I try, and the problem is, too, is I've just been plugging along because I want to get it done.
Right.
So I'm halfway through, roughly. She may not realize it, but she gave me all the yarn. And it's Plymouth Baby DK. Is that what it is?
Yeah. Looks like it.
Dream Baby. Okay, I'm like, I knew what it was. And I think the pattern is actually Plymouth Dream Baby blanket, I think is what it's called. And so she gave me 2 sets. I think there's 14, so wherever I reach at 14, I'm done. I don't care how much yarn I have left, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm on my 7th, and I think that will be about right.
That'll be a nice size baby blanket. You don't
yeah,
want it to
she
be
meant
too
it
big.
for...
like a car seat.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. And I'm trying to plug along. I did this while watching the Patriots. Go Pats. Sorry, guys. And it's a really nice blanket, and it goes by. It's just after a while my hands start to hurt. So, and these are her stitch markers that she made. Pretty stitch markers.
They're nice.
Yeah.
I like them.
It's a soft blanket. It's beautiful. I think it's 50-50. Yeah, no, 50 acrylic and 15% nylon, which is surprising. Knitting's my bag Patriots that I got for my birthday.
Or Christmas, I can't remember.
I think it was my birthday this past year.
I can't remember.
I don't either, but I've been using it because
I know I gave it to you, that's all I know.
because I was knitting with it not this past game, but the game before, and they won, so I've been using it.
Just in case.
I'm superstitious. There's a funny story about that one. So we were watching, not this past game, but the game before, and my husband pulled out a jersey that we got for Christmas. It was a Tom Brady jersey. It was in a messenger bag that we also got for Christmas. And we pulled it out, and they weren't losing, but they weren't winning as much as they did. So I yelled at my husband. I said, put it back in the bag, put it back in the bag, put it back in the bag. And they started winning again. So I said to him, I said, that is not to come out. That stays in the bag. I'm superstitious.
What
like
is
that.
the name of that baby blanket pattern? Because I was just listening to you and then I didn't write it down.
Oh, it's, I want to say it's Dream Baby DK Baby Blanket. She gave me the pattern, but then I had forgotten it at my knitting. So I had to, so the teacher said, you forgot the pattern? And she took a picture and sent it to me. And then I started looking for it because I'm like, it's got to be in Ravelry. It is Dream Baby DK Baby Square Afghan.
Okay.
It's in my show notes. It's funny because depending on the color, the lighting, I can't always tell that I've switched colors because they're very pale.
It's so pale.
But it's pink and white, and it's not bad. It's not bad. it's just doing a number on my hands. And then I told you this year that, I put out a thread for your resolutions. And my resolution last year was to knit my Blue Moon stash, which I put a good dent in it. Not as much as I had hoped, but I think I knit 11 pairs of Blue Moon.
That's pretty good.
Not all of them were for me, but that doesn't make a difference. I still knit 11 pairs. And this year my goal is to get through my scraps, whether scarf, cowl, whatever. I do want to make a scrappy blanket with my Blue Moon leftovers. So I've been trying to find, I'm not a crocheter, but I've been trying to find a blanket that I would be happy with. I thought it would be the pinwheel, the barn raising.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did that one. I'm like, no. I didn't like the feel of it. I just didn't like it. So I didn't get very far. I ripped it out. So then a lot of people have been doing the scrappy crochet afghans where they're going back and forth. I'm like, I don't want to be a sheeple. So I tried the longer rectangle. This is a dishcloth out of Hobby Lobby's Love This Cotton, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this was nice. It was easy to do, but my husband didn't like the holes. So then I thought I'd try Tunisian crochet because it's kind of a mix of knitting and crocheting.
Yeah.
And I like the look of this. You can't see it. It reminds me a lot of linen stitch.
Yeah.
Less holy. But right now, they're all on hold because, again, it's hurting my hands. And I don't know if it's from the purling or not. So I'm going to wait until I finish that blanket and let my hands heal to do anything with a scrappy blanket.
Oh, so that's a good idea.
But I have ideas for scrappy yarn. I still have plenty of it because I have plenty of scrap yarn. I still have ideas of what I'm going to do with my scrap yarn. But that's where I'm at right now, what's actively on my needles or hook.
Okay. So I have a bunch of stuff. The first thing is I designed a new sock. It's my usual thing. It has I'm trying to see if you can see it. They almost look like Star Trek symbols.
They kind of do.
Like maybe I'll call it the Star Trek sock.
The Trekkie sock.
It's a cute little fun lace pattern. I just called it Crosshatch because it looks like they're cross-hatching back and forth, but it's just a little extra something that, so that it's not boring. It's in Knit Picks Felici in the Sprinkles colorway, primarily because I didn't feel like winding any yarn. So I love that Knit Picks comes in a ball like this.
Yes.
And as you can see, I'm very close to being done with it.
Nice and soft, too.
Usually I knit down to the toe before I do a couple inches of cuff, and I am very close to that point.
Yeah, you are.
So, I just started this last week.
Oh, good.
So I've been doing quite a bit on that. And I put it in my Princess Knitting My Bag because I liked how the colors went together. So, I like to match. So that's one thing. The other thing that got some love this week is my Fox Paws shawl. Now, here it is. I'm in the middle of the row.
Oh, wow.
I think I messed up again, and that's why I'm in the middle of the row. But it's gotten quite a bit longer.
It's pretty.
I have about this much left of every ball.
Oh, nice.
I still have a ton left, but I'm getting there. And
I love the purple.
I had some kind of incident over here. I can't remember if I'm ripping this back right now. I did the wrong row. I did the completely wrong pattern row.
Oh.
Then I could tell that something was wrong. I think this is right now. I think I had just fixed it, but I had to rip out a little bit because I just started doing the wrong row and it didn't match up at the end. And I'm like, why wouldn't that match? It was way off. It was off by like 12 stitches. And then I was like, wait a minute. What row am I on? And I realized when I looked at it that I did the wrong row.
Oh.
I don't know. Like lately with this thing, it's like I can't concentrate enough to do it. But it is great.
Well, that must take a lot to figure out.
It's it's almost like it's gotten too easy now because I've like done it so much that I'm like going on autopilot, and that's when I'm making mistakes. But yeah, that used up 5 skeins of Sundara. So I feel really good about that. Like I'm going to be proud of myself for using all that yarn. And then let me write this down. So I have my Crosshatch sock, which is what its temporary name is until maybe I'm going to call it the Star Trek sock because it does look like a Star Trek symbol when you look at it this way.
It does a little bit.
And then my fox paws. And then the last thing is really a sadness. So I was making the Lillian Fay sweater. And the story behind this sweater is I bought the pattern at Mass Sheep and Wool years and years ago. And I got it from Ball and Skein. I bought a hard copy pattern. And it's a really pretty pattern where you have leaves that go up the edge of the sweater. And then you knit a band on. So I'm
Now, is it the sweater you don't like, or is it the other?
I'm basically done with it. I'm just knitting I just started knitting the, what do you call it, the yoke. I did some modifications to it. I made a different sleeve. What I didn't realize is how different that one skein of my yarn is so different. And I did not really notice it until I got up to the top. And then I kept knitting because I was hoping that the other yarns would blend it in and it wouldn't be so bad. But this literally just the one skein is completely
So it's not
color.
the sweater itself, it's the color?
Well, it is the sweater itself too. I knit the size that I thought I would wear, but it's just too big.
Oh, really?
I've had to rewrite the way that it's designed is the neck is like a boat neck, and I hate those because if I'm going to wear a worsted sweater, I want it to come up
all
here.
The way up, right?
So I've redesigned the yoke. So I was working on that, but what I really hate is just this stripe that because I didn't blend these yarns together. In certain lights, you don't notice it that much.
Right, but I don't notice it here, but when you hold it up, oh my gosh.
It's really noticeable, and if in bright daylight, it's really noticeable, and I knew that it was going to bother me. And by the time I realized how bad it was, because I usually knit on this in the evening in my living room, and the light's not that bright, I know it's going to bother me. And frankly, I also just really wasn't loving the way this is coming out. I think it's not going to be, it's just not... I'm not going to wear it. I don't like it. I love the yarn. I just don't like the sweater. And one of my New Year's resolutions, and I'm taking this for everything in my life, is if something doesn't bring me joy, I'm stopping doing it. I'm getting rid of it. I'm not going to keep forcing myself to do things that actively make me unhappy, because I am one of those people that will start a project, I hate it, but I will compel myself to finish it because...
Hitafude.
Yes, exactly. Hitafude, that was a big thing.
Well,
I do wear that a lot now. I like the end product of it, but I hated knitting that.
I know you did.
And I'm just tired. I'm like, why am I making myself... I think with getting my health better and joining in all the activities, like I'm in karate class and I'm meeting all these new people and have my house and I'm trying all these new things this year, and everything that I'm doing is making me so happy. And I started thinking, why would I take what's my relaxing time to do something that's making me miserable?
Absolutely.
So I didn't rip it out yet because I wanted to show it. I am ripping this entire thing out, and I am knitting a different sweater, which I will talk about in future dates, but I'm ripping it out.
I'm not laughing at her. You guys didn't see it, but Oscar was standing here and he shook his foot. It was just funny. I'm sorry. one of the things that the cats do.
We just want you to know that Oscar is probably the most devastated out of everybody that we are no longer recording because he likes this as his personal.
One-on-one time, I think.
As soon as I started putting the equipment out for recording, he was right on the table before Sheila even got here because he was like, "I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille." So yeah, Lillian Fay, I'm frogging it because life is too short to knit things that do not make you happy and to do things that do not bring you joy. That is my new philosophy in life.
It's a good one.
So that's all I have actively on the dance card.
All right.
Rate your date.
Rate your dates. I have a couple. So I showed you the washcloth already. That's a rate your date, I guess. I finished.
What was the name of that washcloth?
Oh, it was a rectangular.
Okay, I'm on.
Nothing fancy. I just kind of took a rectangle, like I was using YouTube a lot to find how to do the granny square. It's a granny square rectangle.
Yeah, it's a rectangular granny square. That's what I'll call it. Okay.
So I finished Cam's mitts.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't have them with me. He's actually using them, believe it or not.
Does he like them?
He does. He just wants like some sort of leather or something. And of course, I finish them and we get warm weather.
Yeah.
Because it's really not cold enough. I'm like, I wear my Fingerless mitts every day.
I know. I wear the gnome ones. Like, I keep them in my coat pocket.
Mine are always in my car.
I keep the hat and the mitts in my coat pocket in case I need them.
Yeah. I'm like...
I wore them to New York.
Cool. This is one of my projects half done. This is the sock that I was just knitting on. Like I said, just a vanilla. But what I did do is a 3x2 rib.
Oh, that looks nice.
I like the color.
That's medium weight?
That's medium. Feel that. That's
it feels
heavy.
like heavy. It feels like...
It's a worsted. I mean, it's a light worsted weight.
It feels like heavyweight, though. It doesn't feel like medium
I'm
weight.
sorry. It is heavyweight.
Okay. I'm like, thought I was losing my mind. I'm like, wow, their medium weight has gotten really bulky.
No, that's heavyweight.
It's heavyweight. I'm going to write that down.
Sorry, it is. It's heavyweight. And I have another pair of socks made out of heavyweight that I absolutely love. Wow, that seems tight. I hope that's not going to be too tight. Well, it's the same cast on. I did the same amount of stitches, but you know, with this, once you soak it, it loosens up a little. It loosens
up a bit, yeah. Blooms a little bit because it's 100%.
Superwash, so.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew I had another skein of heavyweight that I've already knit with, and I couldn't remember what I knit with it, but I did a rabbana with it. I also finished my Yowza Weight It shawl.
I know, I saw that.
Tess.
I love it.
Tess yarn is what I did. And Tess, I weighed it, and it had more grams than, I had 268 grams.
Yeah.
And from reading everybody's notes, this is the Yowza Weight Shawl 4.
Yeah.
A lot of people, you weigh to a certain amount, but a lot of people were complaining that they still had 40 grams left after the amount. So I knit mine until just about 45 grams. Yeah. And I think I have 5 grams left. I have a little walnut of a ball.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, it worked out well.
Severe.
And I was contemplating about going back and forth with this, but this really worked out nice.
I think I love the contrast of the side stripe with all the long striping. And that came out a nice big size.
It really did. So I have an actual skein of Yowza that I bought 2 years ago at the Rhinebeck.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do this again. I really enjoyed, again, it was mindless. I really enjoyed knitting it.
I made the same one last year, and I wear it all the time. It's like one of my go-to.
So I have a couple of shawls. Yeah, it's really nice and squishy. I have a couple of shawls that are my go-to shawls. And talking about keeping or not doing things, there's a bunch of shawls that I'm looking at. I'm like, I'm never going to wear these. I have a nice black and white one that I knit. It was a trillion. I never even blocked it. I just don't wear it. So I'm going to block them and gift them.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then I'm only going to... There are shawls that I want to knit, and that's not a problem. But I think what I'm going to do is just knit to knit and then give away. Because I don't wear a lot. I have my Color Affection that I love. This one I really enjoy. The ash one the cream-colored one.
Yeah. That
I really enjoy. 1, 2, 3, and there's maybe one more. And when I was doing test knitting, I made one it goes this way and then it goes that way.
Right, yeah.
The blue, I've been wearing it a lot lately. That's probably the only one I really enjoy. I like really big shawls, and the other ones aren't so big, but other people will like them because, the purpose is to keep the neck warm. So I've decided that I'm going to keep what I want and get rid of the rest, and I should have done this when Lise was doing
I know. Well, you can send them to her,
I know.
Like, although...
I need to wash
You might need to email her because I don't know where you would send them now because she retired from...
No, she's still at Webb's, but in the warehouse and not the store.
Oh, okay. She retired from the store.
I think so, and not there as often, like maybe once a week. But, so... I'm definitely gonna make another one of these. I think this year might be the year of the shawls.
Oh yeah, because I love that one.
It is squishy, and I can't wait to try it with actual Yowza.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love Yowza, and I love that. I just wore it the other day.
But I think looking at shawls recently, I've come to determine that I like the style where it's wide and not the fancy. Like I don't like triangular ones; they're hard to wear. Mm-hmm. And I think, whether it's garter stitch or not, that's what my hands can handle. Yeah. And I get too much stash for me, like you said, to knit something that I don't enjoy. Yeah. But, so this is my finished. I think I did this on a size 9. That was the thing that was concerning me because I was afraid that maybe, I think the pattern called for either a 6 or 7. I don't remember, but... I don't remember. Or an 8, possibly. And I was afraid that because I did it in a bigger yarn, but it worked out well. And I love it. Yeah, it's nice. I love the edging. I just love that shawl design. Way to go, Susan B. Anderson. Well, and it worked out well with the edging of the coloring of my shawl that it's black, white, black. I mean, it almost like I tried it and I just knit. It looks good. It does. She gives other options for it, but I have to honestly say, out of all her shawls that she did on that, she did 4. Yeah. This is my favorite looking one. There is a crescent one that I was gifted, and if it was a couple of years ago, maybe I'd try it, but right now that's not where I am. Yeah. In my knitting. But I love her shawls. It came out really nice. Yeah. So that is all that I have, I think, done. I just have one. I finally finished my Going Up socks, which is another one of my designs. I have now either 2 or 3 designs that need to be published. You have 3 that I think that need to be published. Yeah, I think including the one that you're working on. Including the one that I'm working on, which I'm going to do. I have it written into my planner for things that I need to achieve. So, but these are in Blue Moon. Knit Picks, Felici in the Dark Side colorway. And I love them. Haven't worn them yet or anything because I wanted to show them on the... But that's my date rated, and honestly, that sweater is almost a completed date, but... It's going to be frogged. Yeah, so my Going Up socks, and that's all I have to rate. Whirlwind Romance, I have been spinning, but this is kind of sad. So this is a gradient from Fiber Optic, and Ollie thought he would help with the spinning. Is that salvageable or no? Oh, yeah. Oh, all right. That's fine. He just ate some of it. And was it tasty? And played with it a little bit, so it's all like crazy, but I can still spin. Oh, okay. But I just thought that was kind of funny. It's I can't remember the color. I think it's the green to purple. I think it's just called green to purple gradient or something. But it's a silk and merino blend. And I have been spinning on it. So let me see, Fiber Optic. I'll look up what it exactly is on my computer because I can't remember. So I have started spinning again. I had not spun in so long that I had to look at a video to remember how to set up my really? My spinning. It's been over a year, I think, hasn't it? Yes. Last year was a busy year for me. Yeah. I didn't get to do a lot of the stuff that I normally do. So anyway, that's it for Whirlwind Romance. Future dates. So, like I said, it's the year of scrap for me. Plus some socks on the side, because honestly, I'll always have socks on the side, because they're small to keep at work. So I've been looking at different shawls and stuff to knit, And I was looking at I think it's called the Scraptastic one, where it's basically linen stitch.
Mm-hmm.
But I was looking at it, and again, there's a lot of purling.
Oh, yeah.
So I can't. Right now, I just can't. So I was looking at, Martina Bem has is it Martina Bem? Yeah. She's got a couple of shawls that I recently purchased. One is Valente,
Yeah.
which is a lace one that I have lace that I want to use. And then the tubulatory that I was gifted a while ago. I want to do that one. I was thinking, I'm trying to find a nice shawl that I can use my Wool Mice little scraps that I have.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking of either the tubulatory one or she's got one called Make It. I don't see it here, but I know I have it. I want to say it's Make It. It's similar to what's popular right now is Find Your Fade.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Which would be a great shawl to knit if you needed to use up some yarn.
Yeah, 6 skeins. But again, the only thing that I am not a big fan of right now is this open work. And although I think Find Your Fade, there's open work, but I think it's knit.
Yeah.
But there's one that I saw, here it is, Make and Move, which is very similar.
Oh, yeah.
But it's all color. And it's all garter stitch, keyword there. Which I think is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you that. Sorry, I'm just waiting. Make it move. Make it move, something like that. So I think that's what I'm going to be doing. It's either that or the tubulatory for my Wool Mice, and then I got other scraps. So, but shawls, I think, are in my future, believe it or not.
Make it move.
Yeah, make it move. Does it make it move? Match and move. I'm sorry, match and move.
Match and
move.
I have a couple of things. First of all, I am going to knit a new sweater out of the sweater that I'm ripping out.
So you are going to keep with the yarn?
I'm going to keep I love the yarn.
The color, so what are you going to...
I'm going to knit, it's by Isabel Kramer, and I've just recently discovered her as a designer. And she has a very simple style that I like. It's just a very simple sweater. It's a pullover. That's the other thing. This was a cardigan. I like the way that it looks, but I'm not really a cardigan person. No. I'm more of a pullover person. So this is how it looks. It just looks like a plain sweater, but it's got a design feature where the back is garter, and it kind of comes in at an angle on the body. So,
all right.
I'll see if I can find the side picture that shows. It's just kind of an interesting, you can see how it angles. The garter kind of angles towards the front.
Oh, I like that, yeah.
I think it's just a really pretty, simple sweater. It will show off that yarn, and this time, if I need to crack into that one bad skein, I don't think I will, because I think 4 skeins is going to be enough, which I have to look more carefully. But if I did have to crack into it, I would alternate so it wouldn't be so obvious, and then it won't bug me so much. So that's one thing that I'm going to make. And then another thing that I'm going to make, and Hillary, if you happen to be watching my podcast, I don't think you do, but look away because this is for you, baby. I am making this little baby sweater. And I'm making it gender neutral because I don't know the gender of the baby.
Do you know if they're going to find out?
They're going to find out.
They are.
But I just want to get started.
No,
this is by a baby designer that I just discovered who I love. OGE Knitwear Designs. The titles of her patterns are boring. This particular sweater is called Baby Round Neck Side Opening Sweater.
Wow.
All of her patterns are named like that. She's Australian, and the pattern, which I've already bought, is about, it's less than $4, so cool. It's a really good price. So I'm definitely going to make that. But
what kind of yarn does it call for? Does it call for fingering?
Yeah. She has so many cute baby patterns that I can't even. I immediately called up Lois and was like, you have to go on and look at this designer because they're like classic sweet baby designs that look like heirlooms, I think.
Okay.
Like that are not like so
fancy schmancy.
And there was a lot that you could do. I mean, obviously this sweater is styled in this photograph, it's styled for a little boy. But that is a cute sweater, depending on what colors you use. It could work great for either one. So, yeah, I'm definitely making that. And then I was kind of inspired by Sheila and also by my friend Diane to think about doing a blanket again. Because, you know, the last one I did was my, I did that chevron Afghan. And then I did the weaving,
the loom
it or zoom loom or whatever. I have a lot of fingering weight leftovers, and I found, let's see if I can, I didn't bother to pull it up beforehand, but I think it might be in my queue because I pulled it up the other day to show Diane. Oops, that was an accident. Where's my queue? I found a design that I like that I might use. I want something modular. I think it's this one. I don't know why I saved it twice.
Oh, all right. I've seen that one.
Yes. I'm not actually going to use this pattern. See, this is the, what do they call it? Mitered square, but she's got it lined up so that the ridge in the center makes a chevron shape.
Yeah, okay.
This is it. The pattern is $5, but I know how to make a mitered square and join it, so I'm just gonna do that. I'm not gonna buy the pattern. I'm gonna be inspired by how she did this, and that'll be relatively easy. And I think it'll get rid of a lot of my scraps. And I'm just gonna have that. That would be a good couch project. But I think for me, it's probably going to be the year of this sweater because I have a lot of sweaters that don't fit me anymore that I want to rip out and re-knit. And I have a lot of sweaters worth of yarn that I want to use up. So, which is what I was doing with that orange, that's Dream in Color that I love. And I was hoping to use it up. But I think that'll make a great sweater. I'm really looking forward to doing that.
I think that sweater's going to be gorgeous.
Yeah, I can't wait to get started, but I've been waiting to show it on here because literally I have probably an hour's worth of work on it and it would be completely finished.
Oh.
And I just said, why am I doing this? I won't wear it. I will not wear it. I am compelling myself to finish something knowing that I hate it and I won't wear it. I'm going to rip it out. Yeah. That's the new me. The new me doesn't put up with the scrap. So, yeah, the OGE baby sweater and the Isabel Kramer. Check out Isabel Kramer if you don't already know her because she has some really cute stuff.
I'll have to check, too, because I have some babies I'm going to be knitting for.
The OGE lady, yes. I love everything in her store. But they're all like short baby pants with cuff. Like none of them have like cute names like the Jeffrey sweater or anything. It's all right. Like a literal description. Round neck sweater with side button.
That's funny.
But you know.
You gotta love those names.
I know, I'm gonna have to rename it something cute in mine. So Baubles and Bling.
So the only Baubles and Bling I have, well, I have a couple, but I didn't bring them. So with the Tunisian kick that I was on, I bought 3 sets of needles. I should have just bought one. 3 sets of hooks, sorry. It's the Knitter's Pride Dreams. Yeah. The Dreams wood. So this is a Tunisian hook, and I didn't bother with the cords. I had plenty of them, so that's my cord. I bought size G, H, and F. What's wrong?
Hold on a second. Did they go?
Yeah.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, he came back.
Oh, he's back?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm like, I think it started at 6:30.
No. They went and left.
Oh, okay.
So
sorry.
US 8 is an H.
Yeah.
So H is the biggest, then G, then F. So I'm gonna, like I said, try the F later on, but I bought that. And then December 31st, as a matter of fact, I went, well, maybe not December 31st, but around there, I had a coupon for Michael's. And then I had a 20% off. I ended up getting a steal of a deal on wool.
Wow.
I ended up buying 16? 2 of each color. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 14 skeins of yarn, 2 of each color, and I paid $3.20 a skein.
Wow, that's a good price.
And I blame Polly Knits for that one because he posted it on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, ooh, you can't have enough wool. Whether
No.
you use it in hats or slippers or whatever, you can't have enough. And I was running out of my colors, so I had Max with me, and he helped me pick colors.
Oh, good.
And so that's all my bling. That was done last year, and my goal this year is not to buy any new yarn except for baby, because babies is cotton, and I buy specifically, if it's a blanket. Otherwise, I have been looking, so I have 3 babies I got to knit for, and I have been looking through Stash to try and knit for them.
Yeah.
I just haven't figured out, and this sounds bad, I haven't figured out what they're worth yet. Meaning the person, what
level of knit worthiness.
Yeah. What knit worthiness they are. And that sounds bad, but anyone who knits understands that completely.
Yeah, you don't want to put a lot of time and a lot of money into something where the person's not going to use it or appreciate it.
Right.
I totally get that.
And I think any of the people that I will probably appreciate it, but the question then you have is, do you want them to only be able to use it for a short period of time or a blanket where they can use for a long period of time?
Right.
So that's what it comes down to, because knitting a bit, hat and socks are short-term knitting.
Right, exactly.
With short-term wearability on it, where a blanket is a long-term knitting Anyways, that's all I have for Baubles and Bling.
So I was lucky enough to go to Vogue Knitting Live in New York. It was really funny how it happened. I had my annual mammogram at Mass General, and I met up with my friends Lisa and Jen, who's Boston Jen from Down Cellar Podcast, because they work in that area. So whenever I go there, I try to hook up with them and we have lunch because they're going to eat lunch anyway, and I'm over there.
Right.
And so Lisa was talking about how she was going to New York VK Live, and she asked me if I'd ever, actually Jen was going to, but they were not going together.
Oh, all right.
Jen has a friend that she was visiting, and Lisa was just going to drive in for the day. And Lisa was like, you want to go? She's like, what are you doing this weekend? And I was like, I kind of do want to go. Like, I never went to that. I'm a little afraid of New York City. I would never go there by myself because it's so big, and I don't know my way around, and it's not like Boston. So I was like, I'm going to ask my husband and see if he has anything special planned for that Sunday. If he doesn't, I'm definitely going to go with you. So I ended up, this was on a Wednesday. I ended up deciding on Thursday, I'm going to it. So I went, and it was a lot of fun. The hotel for VK Live is in Times Square. I haven't been in Times Square since the 90s. It's very different now. It's like all these big, screens with...
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I was in Grand Central Station. I've never been in there. It was a lot of fun. I've only ever been in the city to walk around 3 times. One time, all I saw was Madison Square Garden because I was going there for a concert. The other time, I did go to Times Square and Soho and everything, but it was in the 90s, so it's different now.
Yeah.
And then one time I was at a medieval literature conference, and I only got to see around Columbia University. I didn't really see any of the other stuff. So this was fun, and Lisa knows her way around.
Oh, good.
So we parked in Connecticut. We took the train to Grand Central Station, and then we walked over to Times Square. We ended up going to the VKM Live, which is like a trade show. It reminded me a lot of Stitches. It's that kind of a show. We went, it had 2 floors of the hotel that they were doing it on. So we did that. We met up with Lisa's mother for lunch, and her daughter was with us. We had lunch. Went back and purchased a few things, and then Lisa's mom had to go. But Lisa and I went and hung out and poked around in Times Square at a couple of the stores, which was really fun. And then she took me to this really cool Japanese bookstore that had all these Japanese planner stickers and stuff, because she's really into planning too. She does bullet journaling and stuff like that, and she knew that I was really into it. So we did that. We went by Bryant Park where they have New York Fashion Week.
Oh, cool.
And it was awesome. It was a totally fun day. And then we just went back on the train to Connecticut and drove home. So I bought a couple of things there. I don't want to buy any more yarn for myself, but I did want to buy yarn for the baby sweater that I'm making. And so I got this. It's really hard to see the true color. It's a pale yellow and a teal blue, and it's by Backyard Fiberworks at www.backyardfiberworks.com. And this color is called Marine. Seems like a legit name. And this is called Reed. Does that say Reed?
Yeah, it does say
Reed. I don't know.
R-E-E-D.
Reed, yeah.
Maybe a color of a reed, like a musical reed, maybe?
Maybe. It's like basically a really, really pale yellow and this like teal blue. That's really pretty. And I'm going to make the baby sweater in the teal blue, and the little dots are going to be in the pale yellow, and then the hat and the mittens and the pants or whatever else I want to make is going to be in the yellow with the blue, whatever blue's left over as an accent. And I bought it super washed so that it can be washed, because nobody wants to have a baby sweater that you can wash because they throw up. So I got these. I've never bought anything from Backyard Fiberworks, and Lisa and her mom helped me pick out the colors because I wanted something that would work for either a boy or a girl.
Excuse me.
I think this will look good on either a boy or a girl.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And if it's a girl, the button on the shoulder, I'm going to do like a daisy or a flower or something really girly, and that'll just like zhuzh it up a bit.
Right.
So that I bought. And then as a souvenir yarn, I got this gradient kit from Woolbearers.
That's pretty.
Isn't it pretty? It's superwash merino. It's 700 yards
I would never
total.
guess 700 yards in that.
And the thing that I like about it, it was $27.50, which is inexpensive for a gradient kit
with that amount of yardage,
with 700
too.
yards.
I love the colors.
It's like a almost like a hyacinth blue to purple. It's gorgeous, and I just love them. Lisa put me onto it because she got one last year that she loved. And I'm going to make a shawl out of this at some point. But that was my souvenir thing. I didn't really want to buy a ton of stuff. I had a great time there, though. I got to see a lot of people. I hung out with Chris from Into the World for a while. And I ran into a few people that watched the show. So that was really fun. But yeah, it was like totally this last minute impromptu thing. And I was like, I would never have even considered going to VK Live because it's in New York City, and I'm like...
See, I was thinking of going there, and I completely forgot it was that weekend. But I would love maybe next year to go because New York is so close. It's like out of all the other festivals, that is the closest, you know what I mean? It's probably even closer than Rhinebeck.
It's probably closer than Rhinebeck. But I just was like, I don't know. I don't want to have to deal with parking. And
I get that.
And I don't like New York City because it's so big. Like, it's overwhelming. Although, I was talking to Lisa about it. I've been to San Francisco.
Which is probably bigger, isn't it?
I've been to San Francisco probably 50 times.
See, it's what you're comfortable with.
But I know my way around San Francisco.
It's
New York seems really big and scary. I don't know why.
See, I've been to New York a few times with my family, and it doesn't bother me. I've gone to Chinatown. We've been to Times Square.
Well, my mom and I are going to go into New York when she comes this spring for the day. We're going to do the same kind of a trip and check out some, there's some good yarn stores and, just go in for the day now that I know how to do it.
Right. Because I would never have thought to park in Connecticut.
It was cheap because parking was only $8.
That's really good. And the train probably wasn't that much.
Well, the train was $25 for the round trip. So.
Well, that's bad.
But we could leave whenever we wanted to, and we didn't have to worry. The car was parked somewhere safe outside of the city, and it was kind of nice because you had to do like a 3.5 hour drive to get to Connecticut, but then you got to like have some downtime when you took the train into the city. So it was really fun.
How long was the train ride?
The express one was really fast. It was like 20 minutes. The on the way out we missed the express, so we took the regular one. It was a little bit longer, but it was long enough to just relax, and I would totally do it again.
That's good.
I had a lot of fun.
Good.
So that's it for my Bauble and Bling. Definitely check out Backyard and Woolbearers because I had never really heard of them before. There was a lot of stuff at that one that I hadn't seen before. So that was pretty cool.
Cool.
Crushes and heartbreak.
So crushes and heartbreak. I have a really big crush. Tiny heartbreak. It's not a heartbreak. So anyone who's been watching the show knows that my son Zachary is hard of hearing. He's got high frequency hearing loss, and it's been getting worse with his word recognition. Put it in layman's terms, he hears perfectly 3 out of every 10 words. It's basically what it is. And the 7 words that he doesn't hear, he guesses, and will come out with phrases that we look at. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
We were talking about Virginia, and he all of a sudden said, we're going to Hawaii for vacation. We're like, what? Hawaii was never even anywhere in the phrase at all. So he is a candidate for the cochlear implant. We finally have a date. We're going forward with it, and the date is April 11th. We have pre-op on the 28th of February. We have a liver appointment on the 27th. He still has to do a CAT scan for it because they want to check all his temporal stuff over here.
Yeah.
It's going on the right side.
Look at all the anatomy.
Yeah, make sure nothing's different because let's face it, he's a different kid.
Yeah.
They're also doing something where they're going to check his balance to make sure he's got good balance anyways.
Yeah.
We've had a few appointments with the infectious diseases because they're really afraid of the implant causing or creating infections because of his immune suppressed state.
Yeah.
And it's a direct line into his brain, so they're really concerned about that.
Right.
Which is very scary. So, one of the doctors said if we could put it off for as long as we could, we should. That was the surgeon, and we would like to, but it's not getting better for him. And I was trying to help him study the other day, and it's hard to remember a word if you do not hear the word.
Right.
So I've talked to his teachers. They're all for it. The timing is actually great. So they wanted March, and I got really scared about that because that's sooner. We wanted something closer to the vacation time frame.
Right.
So we did the week before. I will take off the week so that he can heal, and then he has the week of vacation still to heal.
Right.
And then I guess MCAS come about. That works out well for him because he's not going to be learning anything new. For 3 weeks after his surgery, this ear will not be connected at all.
Right.
So it could be completely deaf. We're not sure what we're getting into on that one. And it may not be, but it's still going to heal. So he's not going to miss anything because my husband was concerned about that. So like I said, it's a crush and a heartbreak in the sense of it's crush. I hope this really works for him. It's a heartbreak because this is the first surgery that we're electing to do. The other surgeries were taken away from us. There was no choice.
Right.
He had to have the heart surgery. He had to have the liver transplants. This is an elective in the sense of, it is and it isn't. In the sense of that, yes, he can get worse and he can learn sign language and we would never have to do the surgery.
Yeah.
He vehemently said no. His choice.
And he's getting to the age now where he can participate in these kind of decisions to an extent,
right. And we made sure he understood.
Count.
And they make sure he understands.
Yeah.
So that we can't say, even if we want him to do it and he says no, we can't force him to do it in their eyes. Technically we could. He's still a kid, but I would never do that.
Right.
So I'm a little nervous. My husband's a little nervous. It's
naturally.
He's excited about it. But we still have some more appointments ahead of time. And so, yeah, that's our biggest crush. A little heartbreak. It happened today for my oldest son. He got a little dose of reality. Money got stolen out of his wallet from the locker room. And it was his fault. I kept telling him not to carry the amount of money that was stolen and to just keep like $5 or $10 because there really is no need. Lunch for our school is on his ID.
Right.
So I put in an account every month.
Right.
Money. So there's no need for him to actually have cash.
Except certainly not the amount he had.
No. Nothing crazy, but it hurts. It would hurt me if I got that stolen from my... the thing is, I told him to report it. I love him dearly. This tells you the maturity of the kids. I told him to report it, and he goes, where? I'm like, hello, the office. Where else would you report it?
Would be a place to start.
So apparently they found the kid because, this day and age, there's cameras everywhere.
Yeah, they do.
And they said it was very blatant. I don't know if they found the kid yesterday or they looked at the film today when he reported it But he said they found it. Unfortunately, he knows who the kid is. Not a very good friend of his, an acquaintance, as he calls it, which is good because I think that would have hurt him more if it was a friend of his that did it. But I said, how you doing? He goes, I'm okay. He goes, I'm really pissed. I said, I bet you are. I said, do you feel a little violated? He goes, yeah. I'm like, I've been robbed out of my car, where people came in and out of the car and took loose change. There was nothing, but they took, at the time it was a Walkman. Tells you how. But it still makes you feel your personal space was invaded. So I said to him, I said, I don't mean to say I told you so, but did you learn a lesson? He goes, yes. So I feel bad for him because it's tough. I mean, it's a dose of reality. It's somebody he knew. I just told him, I'm like, don't go telling your friends. He goes, yeah, they told me not to say that at the office as well. I'm like, yeah, he doesn't need everyone to know that. No. It's a felony. He's already in trouble as it is. Yeah. Depending, I mean, if they collect out of how much money he stole, depending on the amount, I mean, not just max, but the amount, it's a serious offense. So I feel bad for him. I'm glad, he was taking it responsibly. They did call, I guess, me at the house, and they said they'd call on Monday or something because I wasn't there. I'm like, you should have given them my phone number, Max. Yeah. I mean, I would have talked to them. So that was a little crusher. Heartbreak on his part. And nobody
but
wants
a good life lesson to learn.
A good life lesson that hopefully, he hasn't gotten the money back, but hopefully he will.
Hopefully he will, yeah.
So, that's tough. But this weekend is Chinese New Year.
Oh, yeah.
Happy New Year. It's the year of the rooster. We will be going to temple on Sunday. My father is back in China. It was we were supposed to record last week, but we had to cancel because of that. So, yeah. And a heartbreak, obviously, is this is our last one.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I have other things. But as I go along, I will be keeping, so on Zachary, I will be keeping people up to date if anyone is, curious. I'll be posting things on Instagram and maybe on Ravelry. Maybe on my Facebook. That's family, sorry. I used to have a care page for him.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And I tried looking it up, and after a few years of non-usage, or a few months, I think, they go away. Which is a shame, because I should have printed everything that I had just to keep it for memory. But you know what? Honestly, I have enough memory. I don't need any more. So I will be keeping people up to date on that. So other than that, my job is going well. I still love it.
Good.
I'm getting spoiled. The patients bring me cookies and chocolates.
Wow.
So I bring those home to my kids because I certainly don't need any. And I share them with my other coworkers. But yeah, I've been getting spoiled by them. They're like, you're so awesome. They're so nice because they're like, you make it a hard situation a little bit better.
See, that's great. That makes you feel really good about yourself.
It does, and I've gotten
your work.
It does, and I've gotten a lot of people who say you're so cheery. You always have a smile on your face. You make it a little easier. I'm like, oh,
that's wonderful.
Yeah, it makes me feel good. I get better appreciation from them than other places.
Okay.
Well, no, I just realized that I think I have a coworker who watches, but then then the bigwigs. Yeah. Sometimes the bigwigs don't always, although they were nice to us this year. We did get gift cards, so
that was
nice. Yeah. So yeah, that's I think about it. I'm sure again I probably have forgotten something, but.
Well, my crush is, I'm not going to show you this, but I finally got an Erin Condren planner. This was my reward to myself for losing 100 pounds. So
now, is that a high-end planner?
It costs about $55 for the base planner, and if you buy the extras like the pen holder, and I have a meal planning dashboard. It costs a little more, but like the last planner I bought cost like $20. So This is an upgrade for me. And I'm just going to show you. I buy stickers for it, and this is what February looks like.
I like the flowers.
I do too. I really enjoy it. It's keeping me really organized. With my new house comes a lot of extra responsibilities that I didn't have, not the least of which is I have to clean 3 bathrooms every week. So that I don't get overwhelmed by everything, I have scheduled out different things to do each day. And that way I only have to do like 20 minutes to half an hour of housework.
Compared to 4 hours.
Compared to like letting it all go and then having to do it all at once. And then I also we've started meal planning, so we eat almost all of our food freshly made at home now. We don't eat out very often anymore, and that's all a part of the healthier lifestyle that I've taken on, and I'm trying to get my family on board with it too. My other crush is I asked for the King Arthur Flour whole grain baking book for Christmas, and I got it from my Secret Santa, my brother-in-law. Nice. And I have been baking a lot with whole grains. I make all of our bread. I make these delicious Morning Glory breakfast muffins that everyone loves them. Oh, good. I make those every week, and we've been trying out different recipes. We've made chocolate chip cookies that are chewy, chocolate chip cookies that are crunchy, snickerdoodles. My son and I are going to make banana bread tomorrow, whole grain banana bread. I've amassed a collection of whole grain flours. So right now I have potato flour, traditional whole wheat flour, white whole wheat flour, rye flour, and barley flour all in my freezer because they can go rancid. Oh, really? If you keep them out. So you put them in a Ziploc bag and you store them in your freezer. So I've just been really enjoying that. I never really baked real bread before. I mean, I made like pumpkin bread and banana bread before, but this is the first time. And do you have a bread machine? I don't have a bread machine. The great thing about the whole grain baking book is that it tells you how to knead by hand, knead by kitchen standing mixer. I have a KitchenAid, or how to knead by bread machine. Oh, good. So the first time I did it wrong, but then the next time I read, my problem is I don't always read everything. So I read it and I did it the right way. And the first bread that I made the crumb was a little tender. So if you cut it and put it in the toaster, when you took it out, it kind of would fall apart because I don't think the gluten's formed enough. I followed the King Arthur method for kneading it with my standing mixer the right way the second time, and it came out much better. So I'm just really enjoying it. I've always enjoyed baking, and one of the things that made me really sad when I had the surgery and I changed the way that I eat was, I'm going to have to give up baking. And my nutritionist said, no, you don't have to give up baking at all. You just have to stick to your 80% healthy eating, 20%, treats. And she said, and why not try baking healthier foods? Like, don't get me wrong, a snickerdoodle is never going to be healthy. There's a lot of sugar in it, and it's coated with sugar. But if you make it with, like, barley and whole wheat flour, it's more healthy than if you made it with white processed flour. Right. So she's like, you can experiment with that. And it makes me feel, I'm allowed to eat cookies if I want to. It makes me feel a little less scared about eating them when I know that I know that what's you got whole grain in them. Well, also I know everything that's in them. True. Like, no high fructose corn syrup. Like, I control what goes in them. Because one of the big things that we're working through now is to not be scared to eat. Because you've been... Yep. You can't be scared to eat certain foods. You have to learn how to eat like a regular, healthy person, which is 80% of the time I stick to my whole foods. And I limit carbs to... healthy carbs. I try not to drink or eat things that have processed sugar in them. I avoid processed sugar as much as I can. And I don't eat things with sugar added. I primarily eat vegetables. That's just how, there's like a whole lifestyle to it. They don't make you measure or weigh anything. So you're really on your own. You have to kind of do it. It's really frightening if you come from a place where you used to weigh 277 pounds, right. I'm always worried that somehow I'm going to like slide back into that. But so far, it's been really easy to manage this new lifestyle, and that's because my family's been on board. And I've been cooking as well as my husband, so I'm really enjoying learning how to make a few things for myself. I prepare my lunch every day, make a fresh lunch. Where in the olden days, I would have been like, oh, you know, whatever I could microwave or, you know, like one of those microwave meals.
Oh, all right.
Now I'll steam fresh vegetables and have a small piece of protein with it. And I make eggs for breakfast. You know, I'm just more in control of eating and control of what I put into it. So I'm really loving that.
Good.
I'm really loving my new house, even though it's extra work. I've been doing a little decorating and slowly getting everything unpacked, and I'm enjoying that. I love where we live. It's so much more convenient to where I shop and to my kids' schools. And, you know, our kids' best friends ended up moving right over by us.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, it's like
Oh,
in
wow.
a freakish coincidence.
Oh, good.
So I've just been really loving that. And I am in love with my karate and mixed martial arts class. I'm working on my 3rd belt. So yeah, karate's been really fun. I've made a bunch of great adult and younger friends in karate, and I get to punch people in the face for fun. So it's a lot. I wonder if you can see it. It's hard to see. That is from blocking attacks right here.
Oh, all right. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. And I started a new weight training program, and I am almost complete with Couch to 5K running. So I run 3 days a week. I run for half an hour on the treadmill, and I work out, I think it's 6 days a week I do weight training. Is that right?
Here?
4
or
days a
somewhere
week.
else?
4 days a week I do weight training. I found a really good weight training program on the internet, and I took it into my karate instructor because we do a lot of weight training there too, as well as calisthenics. And she went over it with me to make sure that it was appropriate because, you know, I'm almost 50 and I'm still getting back into shape. So she like vetted it for me to say that it was legit, you know, like some of that stuff on the internet. Yeah, she made recommendations and everything. I like to have that stuff checked out. And my biggest crush is I wear a size 8 pant. And I haven't worn a size 8 pant since I was in my 20s.
Good.
And I have a picture. Thank you. I have a picture. I don't post a lot about my weight on Instagram because I don't want to like
I get it.
bore people with it. You know what I mean?
People don't want to see it.
Well, you know, it is what it is. I'm losing weight and I don't want to harp on it. It's just not me. But I do think it merits showing. That is me now and a size 8. And the other one is me 2 years ago at Rhinebeck, a year and a half ago, and a size 22. So yeah, I'm making it happen, but it's a lot of hard work. Like I said, I do a lot of healthful eating and I work out a lot. And I love working out. I do. I really enjoy it. I feel good when I do it. It's become a habit for me.
That's good.
And yeah, I'm doing really well. I'm 8 months out from surgery. I could still lose more weight, but I don't think I can get much smaller than I am. I mean, I guess I could lose. I still have some fat on my body. I could probably lose that, but I just really, I doubt I can lose much more than I have. I've lost a little over 110 pounds, and I think that's probably going to be it. And I'm happy with, I feel like I look good. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I can do whatever I want. So that's a huge crush.
Good for you.
So that's all I have for crushes and heartbreaks. Oh, and I am sad that we're ending the show, but in a way not sad because I really feel like in this season of my life, I have so much going on now that I just really wasn't getting 100% of myself.
I agree.
To this.
Right. We weren't able to meet at a regular basis anymore.
Yeah, we were talking about it.
September.
And the problem is with my added exercise classes, I'm only available, really, we figured out one night a week. And Sheila can only record after work. So that like narrowed us down to this one day when we can record and it doesn't cut into family time. But
and it happens to be a Friday, so
it kind of does cut into family.
No offense to anything. The last thing at the end of a work week, and this is not, it's going to sound horrible. The last thing I want to do at the end of a work week is go someplace when I'm exhausted
and I just want
to go home.
I totally hear that.
And I mean, not that we've been catching up. We don't record until at least an hour or so.
Right.
It's not like I come here and I record and we hang out. But at the same time, it's just, it's the last thing I want. I just want to go home.
You just want to get home.
And I am going to miss it at the same time, but the stress level of not worrying about recording.
I know it's going to be a relief.
It is.
Not worrying about, have I knit enough so that I have something to talk about. That was really pressurizing me at a time when I'm really trying a lot of new stuff.
Right, you're going in different directions.
I like a lot of stuff that's not knitting. And I always kind of pushed it to the side because I needed something for the show. And since we've been recording less, I've been able to knit less. I'm still knitting, obviously, but it's been kind of like good. Like I'm like, oh man, I'm like enjoying this. I'm gonna do this punch needle stuff because I don't have to knit for the show.
The only crafting I've ever done is knitting, and honestly, I try and branch out, but I keep going back because that's where I'm comfortable with. But I've come to learn that my comfort level is garter stitch, and again, that's literally comfort level with my hands. And mindless because I do like to read. And so if it's slow at work, I prop up my Kindle and I pull out a mindless garter stitch and I can read in it. Reading also, for some reason, helps me knit faster, but not. It just, I don't know.
It makes the time go faster.
It does, but I mean, the knitting portion of it, because, I get interrupted quite a bit. I put it down and, but it just... I don't know. That's where I am, and I have tried other craft things. I'm just like, yeah, not for me. So that's me.
So it is a heartbreak, but I feel like we've had a good run. We've done 267 shows. I think
over
that's pretty good.
4 or 5 years?
Almost. I want to say like we're almost on our 6th year. I don't know.
We would have been finishing the 5th.
I think so.
In March or May, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me just make the announcement of the winners. The School Colors contest, we picked 2 winners. Number 13, MGO 1999. Her real name is Jeannie. She knit a Michigan University
color scarf, yeah.
And you can contact Sheila and she will buy you the pattern of your choice up to $10. So if you want to buy 2 patterns, as long as the amount doesn't go over $10. Right. Number 2 is the number 2 person we picked, not number 2, is post number 10, Rose Bob, who is named Rose. She knit a mad scientist, and she commented that if you went to...
It was a uniform if you were a mad scientist.
And we're going to give her that one. You also can get a pattern up to $10. Contact Sheila, and she will take care of that for you. And then on the Double or Nothing ebook, which I might try some of those things in there. I'm kind of interested in it.
The scarf, I mean, I've seen a lot of double knitting, and I've always been interested, basic double knitting. I'm not anywhere near the adventurous side of it, but yeah, that looks really interesting.
I might try one of those out one of these days, but the winner of that was post number 39. We loved her username, Will Knit for Donuts. Her real name is Mary. Mary, I will send off to the lady that sponsored it and make sure that you get your Double or Nothing book, and she says she would like to try the Ateria 2 pattern. So if you do that, post it in the group so we can see how it turns out.
We are going to keep the group open.
Yes.
So by all means, like I said, I'll probably be doing any updates with Zachary or anything else in our lives there.
Yeah.
So, keep in touch with us.
And I did want to announce that I have had a private blog for a long time. It's not public. And I was going to make it public, but then I didn't want to have some stuff on there I didn't really want to have public. So I was looking around for new platforms, and I tried out WordPress. And I started a new blog. And then my friend Diane wanted to get into blogging. I told her she could blog on my blog too. So she's going to try it. if she likes it. It is called Rabbit Hole Crafters, and it came up because she and I like to share the cooking and the scrapbooking stuff that we do. We both do that, and this is a great place where we can both post on there, and I can see what she's doing and she can see what I'm doing. But since I do also post some stuff about my weight loss journey and all the different crafts that I do, I decided that's what I'm going to make open to the public. So if you're interested, you can look at it. I'm going to put a link in the group and in the show notes to the new blog. It's a I blog when I feel like it kind of a blog. Same with Diane. We don't have a schedule. We don't have like themes or anything like try it Tuesday or nothing like that. And I'm just going to warn you, I'm interested in my real life in a lot more than just knitting. So people have seen my knitting and my spinning and a little bit of my cross stitch when I was doing that. I talk about my planning. I talk about knitting. I talk about baking, a lot of baking. I share recipes that I'm working on. I review them, how I like them. Review is really kind of a strong word.
Right.
I talk about my weight loss stuff. It's basically whatever rabbit hole I'm down in at the time is what I'm interested in. I will be talking about scrapbooking and interior decoration because I've been decorating my house a lot and I'm enjoying that. That's the kind of stuff that it's going to be. So I just wanted people to know that it's more about me as a whole person and less about me as a knitter. If you want to see me as a knitter, the best thing to do is to follow me on Ravelry, and you can see when I post my projects and stuff. But if you're interested in seeing all the other crap that I do, then you can read my blog. So and then Diane she does a lot of interesting stuff too. She's a real foodie.
Yeah.
And she bakes and cooks a lot of stuff, and she'll also be talking about her scrapping and her knitting, and because it's harder for us to get together now. Her husband has to work a different shift, so this is a way we can share stuff. So it is what it is. And if you wanted to do a guest blog, you could.
Yeah.
Whenever
I find the time.
I know you're not really into the whole blogging thing. So.
Well, it's funny you say that because I was thinking of doing it, but more so of blogging as a mom of a cochlear implant and the trials of what
I think that would be a great blog.
What we have to do. I mean, not only, I was talking to my coworker. My coworkers do know about Zachary. And, they just look at him and they're amazed. And so I was talking to her a little bit more detailed of, basically how he became this way. And it's all based off of when he was born.
Right.
He had issues and he was on a machine that caused part of the hearing loss. And then when he got cancer, it created worse.
I think that would be a great blog.
So,
if you need help getting one started up, just let me know.
Okay.
Because now I'm like WordPress and Blogger. I think do that.
There's a lot of people out there with cochlear implants, and I get that Zachary is different. There is no one like him. I know that.
He's really
a unique kid. But I think a lot of people might benefit from it.
And I think it would be interesting. So, I think you should do it. I fully encourage you to do it.
But
I will post a link to that in our group. And I will post a link on the show notes. And if Sheila ever starts her blog, she will post that in the group so you can...
because it would be a little bit more on the personal side. And I know our viewers have always commented how they liked how we were personal.
And have our personal life. And that's why I'm hoping with my new blog, if you decide to look at it, you'll be interested to see what else I do besides just this. Because... this year, my goal, aside from not doing things that don't give me joy, which has been very freeing, is to try new things. So the baking, I've always baked, but I've never baked with whole grains. Right. So that's really a new thing. I'm cooking more.
That's great.
And I'm trying like karate. That was totally new. And I'm just trying more stuff, and I'm trying to get out there in life and to build something for myself. So it's exciting.
It is exciting.
So I hope you'll all take part in trying something new this year. Try a new podcast. since we're not going to be here anymore.
There's a lot of them out there, so
There
go
are a
look.
lot out there, so I recommend looking around. But still come into the group and post your projects and start threads and do all that stuff.
Tag us on Instagram.
Yes, follow us on
Well,
Instagram.
not even follow, but tag us. I mean, say, hey, Sheila, this is what I did.
Yeah, that'd be
Because
great.
I'd love to see it. Because unfortunately with Instagram, I don't know how it works, but it's
all
not
crazy
by
now.
timeline
It's not by
anymore.
timeline, and I don't know if some people. I don't even know if they show up. Like there's some like weird. I don't know. I don't get how it works now.
I don't either. But
anyway, it's been real. It's been a good run.
it has been a good run, and we said we would do this until it was no longer fun or no longer easy.
It's not bringing me joy anymore.
It's become hard.
It's the scheduling.
It really is. I mean, obviously we still knit. We still talk.
Yes. Once we had to go away from that provider that took care of all the uploading and the storage stuff, it became a lot more work for me to do the. Remember that? What was the name of that place? I hated that place.
I don't even remember.
I can't even remember it either. But it just became more of a chore. And now with my kids getting older and Sheila's kids getting older, there's so much stuff that they have to do.
And
when they're not in school, and she's working full time.
And unfortunately, my son's health gets in the way, and it's going to for the rest of our lives, and his life as well. And it is what it is. And arthritis is still an issue, and my husband is upset about him taking meds. And I'm like, it is what it is.
Yeah,
it's not going to go away. And Zachary's medical issues are not going away. No. There's no cure for it. So,
which is all to say in a very long way, we love you all. And we do.
Thank you. Love you. Thank you so much for watching us over the last 4+ years. Knit with heart.
Knit with heart. And keep in touch. Bye.